in Spamalot.
Really? You're not musical at all?
No, but I can do I can do words and get the rhythms right.
And do you think anything can translate to the stage, or are there certain things that shouldn't be touched?
It's just amazing what they can do now.
I mean, for example, if somebody said, John, we want to rework Fawlty Towers for the stage.
Yes, it wouldn't work, because Fawlty Towers is so... You can do it in half an hour, you see, because it goes from relatively sensible to insanity in half an hour. And if you try and do that over 2 hours, the audience just gets tired.
Right.
It's very strange. You have to sort of, when you're writing a movie that's 90 or 100 minutes, you have to have funny bits, and then in between you have to be able to let the pace down a bit, which is why romantic comedy is so great, because you can have the funny scenes, and then you have the romantic scenes, and there's a little bit of tension there, which is enough to keep the audience's attention, and then you can be funny again. But if you try and do that, people just get, they literally get tired.
Well, listen, will you stay with us over the break? And
no,
chat
I have another
You're very
interview
busy.
show to do.
Okay. Fair enough. We're hoping John will stay after the break, but first take a peek. And he'll be getting loose tomorrow.
It depends whether we're going to discuss
Welcome back to the home stretch of today's Loose Women, where we are delighted to say we are still graced by the presence that is John Cleese. We were talking a bit earlier about this new show that's coming on, sort of mixing the modern world with the Jane Austen era, and whether we would all fit into that world or appreciate that world. How do you feel about that?
I think it depends on your personality type, you see. I mean, the fact is that there are a lot of people out there who basically like to be told what to do. I mean, people go in the army, you know? If you think what it's like being a member of an evangelical family, I mean, they tell you exactly what you're supposed to think, what you're supposed to believe, what you're supposed to feel, how you're going to... Now, that suits a lot of people. But I think if you've got what I would say is a bit more spunk, you want to sort of discover who you are, which is a long process. I mean, I think even at 68, I'm still finding out. If you want to do that, then you don't want some rather repressive social regime telling you that this is how you do everything, but some people are happier.
Do you think women still like the idea of being told what to do?
Well, I think some of them do, and some of them don't, and that's fine. You know, let them have a choice.
The idea of it is fanciful and quite sexy, I think. You know?
What? Being told what to do?
No, the men in their clothes, they're beautiful.
Oh, she's just thinking of a man in breeches.
I'm talking about the fantasy world of it.
It's so strange. You guys, my soon-to-be ex-wife always used to say how nice all men looked if they put on dinner jackets. I mean, I can't stand the bloody things. It's like wearing cardboard.
Really? Feel very constricted.
Sometimes you have to make the effort. You know, I don't
well,
like
why not make an effort? You might hit yourself on the head with a brick. That's making an effort. It doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, it might.
Is it not?
It might get you some...
Well, it might, you know, if you make the effort.
So hitting yourself on the head with a brick...
No, I don't mean that. I mean, if you put a dinner jacket on because she likes it, you're doing something for her.
Well, that's right. But supposing she likes it, if I hit my head with a brick...
You probably wouldn't do that.
You should try it once.
I did, and it was so nice when I stopped.
Are you a man who has wooed women over the years, or do you get wooed?
Oh, I do the wooing.
Do you?
I do the wooing.
Are you a good wooer?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
I did get the girl in one movie, but as I always point out, I wrote that movie. Yeah. The only way I was ever going to get a girl is if I write the movie.
So are you an attention seeker then?
Not particularly now. I think I've had so much attention. You know, I have had a lot of attention. And also, I know what I'm going to say. So it's more interesting, really, to have someone else say something, because I don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like that.
I'm like that, yeah. I don't say anything.
You don't say much, actually.
No, it's my job is to get you to say stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing I think I'm right in saying, is that you've been married 3 times. Always to American women?
It's about 3 times. It's always to Americans.
In that ballpark, yeah.
So people like say, well, why Americans? I think there's 2 reasons. One is, if you're married to an American, you don't have to figure out where you are in the class system, because Americans are sort of classless. Do you see what I mean? So it kind of frees you from all that nonsense. The other thing is that American women have got lots of energy. If you meet American women at 60 and 65, they just seem to have a lot of bounce.
Like 30-year-olds.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're out there doing things and supporting Barack Obama and thinking of a particular great woman in Santa Barbara. You know,
Yes.
they've got lots of energy. The price of that energy sometimes is a little bit of neurosis.
Yes.
You see what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
that might be the downside,
But
but I like the energy. I like the energy.
But why do you keep getting married?
I don't know.
It's very silly,
It
isn't
is. I think it's sensible to get married if you're going to have children. Otherwise, I think it's bloody ridiculous.
Well, you're not going to bother again now?
No.
So if I asked you to marry me, you wouldn't marry me?
No, I wouldn't marry.
Okay.
No, we'll live together.
Let's live together then.
together. I
Okay,
like
that's
that.
fine.
She's
You
got
never say
kind
never.
eyes.
Thank
What?
you.
Never say never.
Why?
What if you fall in
he
love?
Do you?
Well, I always say
say
ever
never.
say or ever say ever. Makes about as much sense.
Was it true that you went on a sort of a boys' trip with Michael Winner called a divorce moon?
Yes, and he sends his love to you all. Because he rang me this morning and he said, you're going on the show and you're going to really like them because they're so bright. I said, what, Michael? Michael? Bright women, Michael? When did you like bright women? He said, I love them, darling, I love them.
You're a funny couple, I have to say.
Yes,
yes,
I wouldn't
we
have
are.
put you
We're the
two
odd
together.
couple.
Very odd
That's
couple.
right. He's good for me, you see, because he's so rude and ill-mannered.
Yeah.
And it begins to rub off after a time, you know.
You're
'cause
just like a couple of grumpy old men, though, when you're away.
Well, actually, we laugh too
even
much
when
to
they're
be
at home.
really
Do
grumpy.
you?
No,
Yeah.
no, we laugh a hell of a lot. We just... Because you see, when you are really old and you know you're going to be dead in a couple of weeks, you just don't... Well, I can't say that, but you just don't give a damn.
No, should you?
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
So you cease to care about a lot of things. You have much, much more fun. I tell you, getting old is
And
great.
you're enjoying it.
Except that bits start falling off at dinner time.
Hanging loose.
Well, and
You're
you're doing it in a place where it's practically illegal to grow old in California. I lived there for 11 years, and they threw me out at the age of 37.
They're
I was
not
well
very,
past
no,
my
they're not
sell-by
very
date.
keen on old people there,
No.
which is why they
better
have
with
such
men,
a
though.
colossally dim culture, you know. I mean, they're not bright people, you know. Now, I've got to say, there are people...
There are some who are-
No, I
yes.
married pretty smart ones, but... oh, God, I love my first one, Connie.
Oh, yes, it was wonderful.
Just wonderful.
You're
We
still
had dinner
great
about a
mates.
month. We're great mates. And she's married to such an interesting guy. Here's a silly story.
I've got 30 seconds, just let me warn you.
You made me nervous! You made me nervous! That made me nervous!
Come back and tell us the story, will you?
All right, I'll come back.
Thank you so
I'll tell
much.
you what, I'll
Thank
bring
you
my
for-
daughter on next time.
That'd be fantastic.
Love her.
That'd be
And
absolute
my
pleasure.
younger one, my smaller daughter,
We'd
who,
love
who
that.
played my daughter in Fish Called Wanda. Did
We
you
would
know that was my
absolutely love
real
it.
daughter?
Please do come back. John Cleese, everybody. That's it for today. Come back for more tomorrow at 12:30. We'll see you then. Bye.
The news and weather, which will be followed by local UTV news and weather. Then Terry Dwyer and her dream team will be transforming homes in 60-minute makeover.